Alrighty y'all, welcome to Ellis Mowers. This is going to be kind of an aside video, more of a how-to than anything on this one. We're going to do a how-to put an ignition coil on an opposed twin Briggs engine, Briggs and Stratton that is. So I have the culprit here, and it's a 15.5 horsepower, what it says, Craftsman. It's been repowered, obviously, with an opposed twin cylinder Briggs, which is why I'm doing this video. I have already robbed the coil off of this thing. So, I'll show you how to get to it, and I'll show you how to put it on, and then from that you can deduce how to take it off, is what I feel like I can do here. So, first off, I have, or you will have, 8 bolts to take the cover off. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 2 in the front under the air filter right down here. You can get to them, number 5 and number 6. You can probably get to them without taking the air filter off, but you might want to go ahead and just take off the air filter, which is just these 2 wing nuts. There's usually a 3/8 inch nut on here that you'll take off as well. So 1 wing nut, 2 wing nuts, and you'll also have 3, what's supposed to be 3 5/16 inch bolts right there to take off. Make sure you don't get them things down in the carburetor, because if you get them down there, then you're going to have a world of a time getting them out. I'm just saying that. So 5 and 6, and then your other 2 over here, 7 and 8, right? So this Craftsman, it's best to, well, I don't have to remove the hood on it, but sometimes you have to remove the hood in order to get to some of the access points, especially on MTDs. So I'll raise y'all up here. So this mower had the luxury of coming to me without any bolts on it. So in theory, I should. I got one more over here for you. It's 5/16. It goes to the oil dipstick. There's 2 of them, one right here and one right there. We'll take the oil dipstick off. That allows you to get the oil dipstick. That allows you to run it without the cover on it. And so let me grab the tools. We'll take this one remaining oil dipstick tube out. I should be able to just pull this thing off. Oh, they put a nut on the inside of this one, which is weird. I'll tell you what, we'll just do that. So next order of business is, you're there, basically. Here's your coil, right here on this side. You'll see the 2 mounting posts, and there should be a coil on it. If you allow me to go get the coil, I'll show you what it looks like. Going to be on here, cylinder side, this side out. It's going to be in here, on here like this. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Cylinder side. Should be on there like that, because your ground wire here plugs in right here to it. It's going to be in there just like that. And so there's going to be mounting posts, and there's also going to be routing for the wires. Now the wires are different in length. The longer wire obviously is going to go to the further cylinder, and the near wire is going to go to the near cylinder. So that's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is find my little mounting bolts. And when I find the mounting bolts, we'll go ahead and put this on. You have to gap it a specific way in order for it to work, and we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so I've got y'all down here. There's one of two ways to do this. You can have a business card. You can do that with it to gap it. Or 10 thousandths on a feeler gauge. That's what I'm going to do because I like my business cards too much. No. So I got 5/16. I'm just driving it in right now. A lot of times I'll eyeball it, but I'm going to give y'all an accurate measurement, so I'm going to do it the right way this time. So 10 thousandths. Basically all you can do is like loosen it up, push it in as far as it'll go onto the feeler gauge, and then just tighten it up. Do that on the other side as well. You kind of need 3 hands to do this, but the business card trick probably works a little bit better, in all honesty. The one on the left's a little bit, or the one on the right's a little bit closer than 10 thousandths, but you know, you want to have them about as close as you can get without them touching, is what I usually say. Alright, so that's better. So now let's just manually spin the motor around and make sure they're not hitting anything. And it's not hitting anything. Another practice is good, especially if you have an older motor, is you just kind of grind or like lightly brush the rust off, especially if you're having chronic issues with spark. And then now you feed the wires down. Now this piece right here, you have to kind of mess around with. You have a hole right there. That's where actually both wires need to go through that hole. And then the short one actually goes through that hole, comes around and down. And then the long one goes through that hole, comes over here onto the other side, and just rides down over here to the plug, and it mounts right there. So let me show you. I'll do it off camera, and I'll show you the setup, but you have to kind of pull this tin up right here and go under the tin with the wires. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you the setup, and then we'll test it out. Alright, so let me show you what I just mentioned. Here's what I did. I routed it under the tin here. I just lifted this tin up through the hole and then around. I probably could go under the intake, but it's not going to ground. I mean, it's not a metal intake, so it's not going to ground out on it. Then also obviously into the plug there, and then I did the same thing over here with the other wire. And give it a little bit of extra over there as well. So that's how I did that. You can probably go under the intake, but I'm trying to keep it off of the exhaust. I don't want them to burn up. So now what I'm going to do Just grab plug, grab my spark plug wrench. Alright, grab the spark plug wrench. I'm going to pull it back out and pull this plug off. Again, your engine cover and all these little guards and whatnot should look a lot better than mine. Still, it's the same gist. Pending that I have a good plug here, you can crank it up and test for spark. Just ground it out on your engine there. I don't know how close I can get you to show you that it has spark. Hopefully it does. Like I said, pending a good plug, which these are brand new plugs, it should. Let me see if I can show it to you really closely. Good spark on this side, which is a good thing. So we'll go to the other side. You confirm that it's got spark on the other side. And once you do that, which we'll go ahead and do on camera because I want to do the whole step-by-step situation with you. Then you know you got it properly. You probably got it properly gapped. You can give it some fuel, crank it up, see if it runs right. And that should be all you need to do. And put your engine cover back on. With your with your 8 bolts. So we'll go over here to the other side and do the same thing. Make sure it's got spark. And if y'all are watching this, I know I have a lot of first-time viewers on videos like these, and you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments section. I do my best, as long as I stay a relatively small channel with a few comments. I do my best to answer any and all comments to the best of my ability. You can also follow me at Ellis Mowers 09 on Instagram and Facebook for kind of real-time updates of what I'm actually working on if you're interested in stuff like that. So we're going to confirm that this side has spark. I don't see any spark coming from that side. Could be a bad plug though. Might try a different plug because I'm not getting any spark on this side. Or clean it up. So let me get some spark and then I'll conclude this video. Alright, so one thing I messed up on. This lead right here, make sure you're not grounding it on metal, which is exactly what I was doing. So I took it out of metal and I got some spark. I don't know if I can show you, but trust me, it's got spark now. Because the way this thing is, doesn't seem like it wants to stay in an area. Here, let me see if I can show you. There you go. Now you can see it. So I'm going to put the plug in. And in theory, if you already had a good running lawnmower, you should not have any issues anymore. But that's how to put a coil on. If you need to diagnose other running issues, then, like I said, as long as you've got good spark, it's probably a fuel-related issue. Don't quote me. But as long as you have good compression and good spark, you should not have an issue. So that is how you put a coil on one of these. Like I said, if you have any questions, throw them in the comments section. This is a very common issue on these Briggs and Stratton opposed twins. So we are done with this. I thank y'all for watching. Like this little tripod here. I started using that just for more tutorial and how-tos here lately. Like I said, hopefully this fixes your issue. One of the big symptoms is if you're running for about 15-20 minutes, then all of a sudden everything starts dropping out. It's probably the coil. These are known to go out on these Briggs. So let's see what we got here. Hopefully we have a good mower from this, but hopefully you have a good mower, most importantly, from replacing the coil on one of these opposed twins. These are some awesome engines. Let me know your opinions on them if you have stories about them. And I appreciate y'all watching. Like I said, you can catch me at Ellis Mowers 09 on Instagram and Facebook for real-time updates of what I'm working on, if that suits your interest. And also you can find more how-tos on this channel. Thank y'all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.